the Evolve Security Automation Cloud. So Evolve is actually the world's first security automation cloud, where we've got regions in Australia, the US, and Europe from a data sovereignty perspective. Being a cloud, it's got its own marketplace. And within that marketplace, we've got what we call on-demand specialist security capabilities. And so all of these really smart, experienced security specialists that we've got on the team, over the last decade, we've codified all of their knowledge and their experience into automated capabilities that we've published into the Evolve marketplace that you can actually get access to. And so you can either do that self-serviced, or you can have it as a managed service through our SOC. So for example, your team might not have the ability to do penetration testing, or they might not have the time to be able to do it. And so you go to the Evolve marketplace, you import the automated pen testing capability into your team, and then within 5 minutes, you can have automated external or internal penetration testing up and running. So that performs what we call a full 5-phase penetration test across automated internet reconnaissance, automated fingerprinting and scanning, automated attack and exploitation, automated post-exploitation and lateral movement, and automated reporting. And we'll go into this further in the demo. There's also automated supply chain monitoring. So ultimately, this is a completely passive penetration test against your supply chain vendors. So a really in-depth view, including things like, leaked passwords and exposed services and vulnerabilities and exploits, and even gives you the exploit configurations that you would use to actually break into your supply chain. So it's much more than just your traditional supply chain monitoring, where you get some high-level insights into the security of the organization. This actually goes into a lot of detail and gives you real-time data relating to them. There's the automated application security testing, and this is typically for integrating into DevOps pipelines. So that supports things like Selenium and Postman to be able to automate your application security testing every time you release new code, so that you're creating that baseline security posture. We've got the Evolve ID leaked password monitoring. So within that, we have over 700 billion leaked credentials in the platform, and that we've collected from over a decade. And we typically add between 1 to 10 million leaked credentials every single day. And that comes from a couple of different sources or categories of password leaks. One of them is third-party security breaches, where a company's been breached, they've had their credentials leaked or stolen, and they get leaked, on the dark web. It could be on Pastebin, it could be in torrents, or on Telegram, for example. And then there's your other part of it, which is stealer malware infections. And that's one of the biggest ways that we're seeing companies being breached these days. And that's where either your employees on their employee machines or their home machines, or even your customers, we can detect their infections, where either your employees' credentials are being stolen through these malware infections, or even your customers through their malware infections as they log into your applications, your application credentials are being breached. So that can actually be revealed through some of the leaked password monitoring. We've got Evolve Dark Web Monitoring, where we can monitor the dark web and alert you to any references to your domains on threat actor websites, leaked data that's been leaked through a security breach, or even keyword monitoring to be able to alert you to different keywords that are relevant or sensitive to your organization that you want to be alerted on. It can even download data from the dark web for you. So if you've had data leaked, it'll actually monitor the threat actor's website, automatically download that data through parallel Tor connections, and then share that data with you securely via the Evolve platform file sharing capability. You can also orchestrate security infrastructure within Evolve. So because it's a cloud, you can also, within 10 minutes, orchestrate an evolved high availability DNS sinkhole with automated cyber threat intel feeds from the Evolve CTI capability. Within 12 minutes, you can orchestrate an Evolve XDR capability with unlimited EDR agents that you can deploy out to your environment to collect telemetry. That also will integrate into, all of your cloud providers, your cloud security service providers, as well as things like collecting firewall data and those sort of things to really give you that central view across your environment. So either standalone or integrated into things like the Evolve XDR, there's the Evolve Automated Incident Response capability. So the XDR is around detecting security breaches or suspicious activity. The Evolve IR goes and does a really in-depth forensics analysis of a particular machine. So if you see, strange activity for a particular user and you want to go and analyze their machine, or you see suspicious, files or activity that's being performed on a machine, you can get the Evolve IR, automatically go and tell it to collect all of the relevant evidence. That's really in-depth data. So all of your memory dumps and running processes and network connections, even your master file table, your registries, your logs, users, groups, DNS cache, browser history, all of that sort of juicy information follows a chain of custody. So everything gets timestamped, everything gets hashed automatically. And even when the analysis occurs, the evidence is duplicated to then perform the analysis on a duplicate of the evidence. So it'll automatically collect all of that detailed information. It'll do in-depth analysis, so memory analysis. It'll analyze your master file table. It'll analyze your running processes and your network connections and web browser history and things like that. And then automatically create an incident response report with a timeline and details of all of those suspicious activities that were found. But also what it can do is actually feed all of that data back into the Evolve XDR so that you've got millions of events that you can actually then query through and filter through to really drill down into the details. So being able to, for example, search through your master file table to see years worth of file changes that have been able to be collected from the Evolve IR. So that's really, really an exciting feature. And that also, again, hooks into the Evolve CTI to be able to detect malicious network connections and processes and things like that. So there's a lot there to take into account, but that gives you a really good overview of the capabilities within the Evolve platform and the power that you can get by centralizing all of those security capabilities into one platform.